Hey guys, so this is a little bit more from Chuck Missler. I had him on the channel the other day and he talked about hyperdimensions, interdimensions, and stuff like that. But I wanted you to hear kind of what he talked about. A little bit on Roswell, but he gets into some discussions about the Majestic 12. And I have videos coming up on this. I know I always say that, but I do have stuff coming up. So I want you guys to kind of hear what he talks about with this Majestic 12 and then put down the comments below, because you guys, like I said, always have some really good comments that are coming back, and some of you guys know information about this, and a lot of times people say that I'm sometimes repeating stuff and all that, but you guys remember, some of the people out who are seeing these videos are kind of new to the UFO or UAP era. So anyway, let me go ahead and quit my yap and let's get this video playing.
And getting back to the Roswell thing, why on earth is Roswell still classified? Why can't the American public or the world public be informed about what's really going on? It's all tightly classified. Well, back in 1984, an event occurred that deserves some comment. In 1984, several documents emerged within the UFO community. One was a briefing address to President-elect Dwight D. Eisenhower by Rear Admiral Roscoe Hillenkoetter, and it was dated 18 November 1952. And there was also a special classified executive order signed by Harry S. Truman to the Secretary of Defense. In those days was James Forrestal. It was dated 24 September 1947. And his letter apparently authorized him to establish a board of suitably qualified persons to be answerable directly and only to the President. And the code name for this august group of appointees was Majestic 12. That was the code name. And these documents, all kinds of documents show up, CIA documents and other things, including this memo that signed by Harry Truman establishing this august group. Now, who were these group called Majestic 12? Well, one, of course, was Secretary of Defense James Forrestal, Rear Admiral Roscoe Hillenkoetter, who was prominent in those days, Dr. Vannevar Bush, who was probably the most famous scientist of the period, General Nathan Twining, head of the Air Force, General Hoyt Vandenberg, General Robert Montague, and a number of civilians that you may not have heard of, Dr. Detlev Bronk, Dr. Jerome Hunsaker, Mr. Sidney Sowers, Mr. Gordon Gray, and Dr. Lloyd Berkner, and one guy we will talk about a little bit is Dr. Donald Menzel. And these were, when Forrestal died, by the way, in '49, General Walker Smith replaced him. But these 12 people apparently were known in the classified community, it would seem, as Majestic 12. Well, these are interesting people. You see, first, of these 12 people, there was Secretary of Defense, of course. 3 of these people were the first 3 directors of the CIA, the Central Intelligence Agency. Actually, the Director of Central Intelligence, that was a successor to the Office of Strategic Services, the OSS, which later became the CIA. 5 of these people were top scientists in aviation, research and development, and astronomy. All of these people held the highest security clearances anyway. Let's talk a little bit about Admiral Hillenkoetter. He was not, turns out, he was not simply a Navy man. And by the way, I want to mention something. A lot of people have heard about Majestic 12. And a lot of people also understand that it's been all debunked. But we're indebted to a very, very patient, thorough, diligent researcher by the name of Stanton Friedman, who published a book on this. And what he did, he developed dossiers, spent 20 years developing dossiers on each of the 12 to try to understand as much as he could about their personal lives. Rear Admiral Hillenkoetter was not simply a Navy man. He was the first director of the CIA, which was also established, interestingly enough, in September of 1947, just months after the Roswell incident. He retired from the U.S. Navy in '57 and soon was appointed on the board of governors of NICAP, which was considered the most influential UFO organization in the 50s and 60s. Dr. Vannevar Bush, this is a name you probably heard. He's a world-renowned research scientist. He was the head of MIT between the 2 world wars and head of the Office of Scientific Research and Development. He led the development of the atomic bomb, the proximity fuse, radar, and 100 other high-tech systems with military applications. See, that's why he's so well known. He was also well known for establishing a policy of compartmentalization of classified work. It was previously the style in research labs to give people a lot of freedom of movement. And he was the one that saw the need for compartmentalizing, letting scientists have only the information they need to know.
All right, so there you go, some brief discussions on the MJ-12. So I have a video coming up I think I'm going to release it actually next Friday on the MJ-12 and some of their origins and stuff. But put your comments down below of what you think about this, and don't forget to like, subscribe, share with your friends, and stay tuned for more videos. Thanks guys for watching.